global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Welcome back to our channel. Sowore, who is fully in the forefront of ensuring good governance to the Nigerian people, and who was also fairly recently involved in campaign for Nnamdi Kanu release, has finally spoken up this time around in faraway Kaduna State, where the Arewa Consultative Forum had a meeting. I think they had their anniversary today. Now, he shared what he told them in their anniversary, opening up about the truth, why the Northerners are impoverished. But what got my attention in this video is actually what he said about Nnamdi Kanu, and also the sentence that was given to him, and why he personally is not scared of that sentence if such an opportunity should present himself. All right, let me allow you watch the video. I'll be back to talk more with my colleague.
Yes, so the same thing, I want you to look at the statement. What is your own take on state of the nation as it is now?
I don't think there's any time in recent history that the state of Nigerian nation is such a dire situation as we have now. Those are speaking with you here, over 350 school kids in captivity, and that is, they have not even completed the head count. It's happening in schools, it's happening in churches. Nobody is safe in this country. The only people who are safe are, of course, those who are in power. And we have just left the arewa Consultative Forum. I have to tell you that I was invited there by accident. But I used the opportunity to tell them, the big leaders of Africa, that they are trying, because they were making big donations there. I know the donations will not go to the people. Yes. So they call me to make donations to tell them, you failed your nuts. That the nuts forgive you. They are the ones who turned the north into the poverty capital of the world. They are the ones who created insecurity you are saying. And this northern part of Nigeria has created some of the best so-called generals. But they have not done anything in the north. Buhari, who is now late, could not complete the road from Abuja to Kaduna. We passed through that today. That is the kidnapping capital highway of Nigeria. So, but you see, it is time also for us to tell the Nigerian people the truth, that we are also complicit in some of your problems. Yeah. Okay. Because election will come now, you still go and collect your 5,000 naira and vote for these failed politicians. They are the ones who are always hiring yourself. Even sometimes when they don't pay you, they pay you with pure water. You follow them. But those of us, as you can see, who have the best ideas have no power, and the people who have no ideas are in power. That is why you are all suffering today. But we are prepared to end it, and that's how I ended my speech today at the Arewa Consultative, because they asked me to donate that. I gave them the example of an intellectual poet known as Oscar Wilde in 1882. He traveled to America, and the customs asked him to come and declare his assets. He said, customs, I have nothing to declare but my genius. And I told them, I have nothing to contribute but myself to the prosperity of northern Nigeria. Because you people have failed, we cannot afford to fail the next generation. The last thing I wanted to tell them, that I didn't tell them today, is the fact that a generation is coming that will leave all of them behind. Because very soon, this digital generation will not be running money that we know. They will no longer be central bank. Everything will be different, including even education. So they will be left behind, and they will suffer because the money that they have illegally acquired will fail them. So let's keep talking to ourselves. That's why we feel free in your midst. And for those of you who are also around, who know my commitment to research and to Nnamdi Kanu, we are fighting to ensure that he's not scapegoated to keep Nigeria one. To keep Nigeria one requires justice, not life imprisonment or death sentence. Being born in Nigeria is already death sentence. So nobody can scare me with death sentence. The moment you are born in this country, you have been sentenced to death, either by default or by accident. And being unable to eat, feed, have a roof over your head, and not be able to send your children to school, not to be able to live secure life, that is life imprisonment, in case you don't know. So, I know is not going to suffer anything that I have not suffered. All these things they are doing, they have done it before it didn't work. They did it with Arewa. We told them, we said, I'm going to be the last person who will deal with you people in a reasonable way. After Arewa was killed, they know what they lost to Niger Delta military. Maybe Kano is the last person from Igbo land who will speak the language of peace and the right to self-determination. The next generation will not do that. There's nothing anybody can do about that. We are saying that here in Kaduna, where they need to listen to it. And I apologize to those of you who are not respecting us while we're doing. Yes, sir. Let me announce today, we are going to announce series of action that will go all over the country. Yes. And this time we are not going to do one day. We are not going to do one day. We are going to do a whole week of series of action. Yes. Because these people need to be taught the lesson that the country belongs to all of us.
Are you not afraid?
Thank you, sir. God bless.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back. The statement made by Sowore is one that can only be made by someone or an activist. Let me put it that way. It is only activists and those who have decided to offer themselves as a sacrifice for the sustenance of good governance in Nigeria. I love the fact that he had been able to lay down the truth before the Northerners, because unfortunately most of the elites believe that the ideal way to speak to them is to continue to encourage them and pretend as though some of them were not part of the crises that have befallen their people. If you take a look at what is going on in the northern part of the country, you realize that you cannot blame these bandits, neither would you blame those who are involved in any act of terrorism. Why? Because the system, they are a perfect product of the system. The system took time, processed them, and produced them. How did the system do this? Now, firstly, when these people were clamoring for recognition by the government, when they were clamoring for help from the government, that we are being faced with very terrible life situation, this is our condition and all of that, their leaders were busy embezzling money as at then. They refused to give ears to the needs of those people. And you know, one of the key attributes of man is adaptability. And oftentimes during the period of that adaptability, survival becomes an instinct. And when survival becomes an instinct, they will look for a way to survive. Since you people are not ready to partner with us for us to do our business the way it should be, since you have deprived us of the normal things of life like water and also minimal fund for us to expand our business, they resorted to taking laws into their hand. And that laws have today put Nigeria in a global map for the bad reason. Today we are a country of a particular concern, all because of what? The deeds of our leaders. And I love the fact that when people have an opportunity like this to talk, they bare their minds. I have listened to several videos, several interviews with some of these terrorists and some of these so-called bandits. And it boils down to one thing: abandonment. Whenever people are being abandoned and they find others who were given the money to extend good infrastructure to them and they have declined it, the next thing is we will get our own by all means. And that's exactly what is happening in Nigeria today. In the process of possibly lack of innovations and all of that, they do not know how to get their own. They resorted to hitting back at the government. Today, look at the widespread kidnap that Nigerians are going through. Imagine what just happened in a space of 3 days. Not less than how many, not less than close to 500 students have been taken into captivity. We do not know what the situation is like with them and all of that. They have rolled out demands. We can't tell. The parents are in very terrible state of health and all of that. Nigerians have trouble. Education in the northern part of the country has been halted. All because of what? Refusal on the part of our leaders to do what is right. Whenever they are outside of power, you see them, they'll be running their mouth and they'll be talking everything. But immediately you bring them back in the forefront of leadership, what is most important to them is their pocket. They make sure that they weaponize poverty. Today, poverty itself has produced solution, and that solution is detrimental to the society that we have found ourselves. It's important enough for Nigerians to come to a point where we all join our voices together, refuse to be scared of these people. Every opportunity we have to tell them the truth, we look them in the eyes and we let them know that what is happening today in our country, it's actually their brainchild.